When you come to the show on March 2nd and 4th, you'll hear lots of tunes you know, like or that's all from the first 15 minutes of the show. I won't give away any more. My name's Kyle Naig. I'm from Des Moines, Iowa, and I'm the pianist for this production of Barber Seville. It's really nice to be back because I was a studio artist here in 2016. I love coming to this town. I love working for this company. Lately, I've been almost working exclusively in opera, although I got into this through musical theater, which I think is true of a lot of Americans in public schools. You grow up listening to musicals, and then in high school you sing in choir, show choir. In college, I started a company for choirs. I figured out that you could make some money playing for theater, and then figuring out that you could make some money playing for opera. I should mention that throughout the staging rehearsal, process here at the Alla Cama, I play the orchestra part. In an opera like this, there are a series of numbers, be they duets or ensembles or arias. Singers on stage accompanied by the orchestra during the action, and then little scenes happen in between, which are recitative, and they're accompanied by a harpsichord or a forte piano or some sort of keyboard instrument. At the Granada, when we're in the theater in the performances, the only thing I'll be playing is the recits, so I'll be keeping them in the key during the scenes before the numbers, and then the orchestra takes over during the numbers. It's particularly fun, I think, to go from playing the entire show and playing the orchestra part, and then the recits, and then the orchestra part, and then, once we get into the theater, then I'll just be playing the recits, which is fun. My mother plays piano a little bit, and she taught some neighbor kids when I was really young, and early on I guess I was jealous, and so I started pestering her for lessons when I was 3. She probably thought I was too young to start, but I guess I was persistent, and so she finally caved and started giving me lessons, and then eventually I moved on to other teachers. It was always my idea, which I think is why I stuck with it. In general, accompanying singers is a different thing because there's a lot of collaboration going on, both in terms of musical decisions and following the singer and following the breath. From a practical standpoint, in a rehearsal room as the pianist, you'll have to cue lines and feed people a word here or there to make sure you start on the same page. The process of making musical decisions is certainly a two-way street between the pianist and the singer. Should be, at least. In the middle of a number, when I'm just playing the orchestral reduction, everything is on the page, notated. In Largo, Figaro's first aria, it's what you're going to hear in the strings as you go along. And then once you get to the recitative, which are the little scenes that happen in between the numbers, it's just chords. So all of the singer's lines, which are really, they are sung, but it's more spoken. And there are chords underneath that fit with the lines that you just sort of have to keep them in, and you keep them in the chord, and as long as you can. Especially in this opera, because it's a comedy, there's a lot of opportunity for reflecting what's happening in the action on stage with what you play. When you come to the show, you'll hear some silly music happening as people run around, or some slower music as people, maybe move a little. So what I'm going to do is play a little snippet that people will recognize from an earlier aria, or it's something that reflects the character. And of course, there are little inside jokes. There's nothing variable. We opened the show on March 2nd, 2 shows, the 2nd and 4th. There's a lot of great music in it, and there's a lot of stuff that you may not know.